I really liked Assassin's Creed 2, as did the vast majority of gamers. This is where the franchise achieved serious fame, and many people still consider it to be the best in the series. And then a year later, we were treated to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Now this is where opinions really start branching off. Some people that I actually know personally say not to waste my time with this game. A little late, but still, I know that this game is where the series started to go downhill, at least in some people's opinion. Some people love this game. So what do I think? Well, let's find out.
The story begins right where the second game left off. By the way, these recaps of the previous games are getting pretty ridiculous. If you're playing Brotherhood, odds are you have already played at least Assassin's Creed 2. Desmond and crew are searching for that Apple of Eden thingy, and apparently Ezio has hidden it, so they must go back into his memory a second time to find it. See you at the end of the game, Desmond. Ezio returns to his villa with his Uncle Mario. After a very invigorating night's rest, Ezio wakes up. Ezio and his soldiers attempt to fight off the soldiers, but are unsuccessful, and Cesare coasts on in with Uncle Mario at gunpoint.
So consider this an invitation from my family to yours.
Yeah, so the story is actually better than the last two games. If you've seen my reviews of the first two games, you'll know that I'm not much of a fan of their stories, but here, there were one or two decent plot twists and a few memorable characters. Now, a lot, and I do mean a lot of people, have called this game Assassin's Creed 2.5. And to be fair, it's the same character, same gameplay style, and there aren't a ton of refinements. But the refinements that do exist kick ass. Yeah, I'll just cut to the chase. This game takes everything that was great about Assassin's Creed 2, doubles it, and removes just about every complaint I had. Yes, guys, you know what that means.
Combat's good now.
Is it amazing? No. Do I go out of my way to pick fights? Not that often. Is it fit to lick the feet of Rocksteady's combat system in the Batman games? Well, as long as Batman is wearing shoes, but if we're talking about bare feet, the point is that the encounters are now decently fun. They are neither broken nor boring. Whenever you do a counterattack, that will actually kill the guard, which is an upgrade. And then you can have kill streaks, which basically means that you hop from guard to guard, killing them instantly. This speeds up the combat scenarios. Bottom line, the combat still isn't really an asset for the game, but it's no longer bad. I still always try to avoid combat as much as possible, and as usual, I mostly got that option. But when I didn't, I could quickly dispatch all the enemies, and this time, I had a smile on my face. My other large issue with the previous title was with how long it took to get good, with tutorials, plot exposition, and some really lame early assassinations. Like I said in my review, I really didn't get into Assassin's Creed 2 for about, 4 hours. But everything's already established in Brotherhood, the conflict's already more interesting, and the game is nice enough to forego a lot of the stupid tutorials from the last game. So not only do you have all of Rome to have fun in after about an hour and a half, but the first hour and a half was also really fun. So yeah, maybe this is Assassin's Creed 2.5, but Assassin's Creed 2 was awesome, and this is even better. Free roaming around the city was awesome, and assassinating people was an absolute blast. Neither of these opinions have changed, and Brotherhood still has more to offer, such as only having one city to explore.
Wait, that sounds like a bad thing. Allow me to explain otherwise.
Assassin's Creed 2 featured numerous towns that you would pop in and out of, and in my opinion, this greatly disrupted my sense of building something. I felt less incentive to search out all of those viewpoints. I mean, I was probably going to leave the town soon, so why bother? Sure, they had the Codex page quest at the end, which actually really helped in my opinion, but regardless, having all of my progress split up made everything less compelling. In Brotherhood, it's a whole different ballgame. I'm in Rome for the entire experience. This is my town. We're going to clear out those Borgia. We're going to get every viewpoint. We're renovating all the shops, even the ones I never use. Why? Well, why not? It's all there. And when I beat the story, any available side missions are immediately visible on the map. That made me so much more interested in delving deeper into what this game had to offer. So even though having only one city technically means that there is less depth, it's an improvement for me. And don't worry about a lack of depth, because Rome is huge, and the size isn't wasted, because within their city there's more assassination contracts, which is pretty awesome, although I wish they had been made more available, but oh well. There's also missions for courtesans and thieves and mercenaries, which also tend to be assassinations, so there you go. There are Templar agents to kill, tombs to raid, and pickpockets to tackle. Get over here right now! Yeah!
Get out of here before I regret sparing your life.
Already regret it. Too slow.
Then, there are the Borgia Towers set throughout all of Rome. Basically, with them up, you can't renovate shops, and we can't have that. So, you need to kill the Borgia captain and burn the tower down. Problem solved. Lastly, we have the Leonardo missions. Basically, the Borgia have taken some of his designs. So, long story short, you need to coast on into their headquarters and wreck some shop. These are probably my favorite side missions, because the first halves are entirely stealth, to the point where you can't even be detected. And then the second half has a fun little set piece with the weapon you're taking from the Borgia. You know, it's actually kind of funny. I didn't quite care for the Assassin's Creed 2 flying segment, but this time, it's probably one of my favorite parts of the whole game. In terms of new abilities, there aren't too many new additions. You've got a crossbow, which is basically just a silenced gun with 150% more ammunition available. But hey, it's a silenced gun with 150% more ammo. You can horse-to-horse assassinate, but I never really use this. And I think that's about it. This may sound like a lack of innovation, but you already had a ton of stuff to work with in Assassin's Creed 2 anyway. Besides, the vast majority of what you could do in the previous game is made available from the start. You do have to regain your double blades, as well as the jump, climb, catch maneuver thing, but even though the tutorials don't pop up for them immediately, if you already know that the air attack exists, you can go right ahead and perform a
Death from above, biatch!
from the get-go. In my humble opinion, this is how sequels should handle that sort of thing. Oh, and Poison's also back.
No, I'm not doing that again. Was it even funny the first time?
The biggest new addition to the single-player campaign is the brand new Assassin's Guild. You round up some townsfolk that are willing to join. Just go up to some civilian being harassed by some guards, save them, and without fail, you get something like...
The liberation of Roma has begun.
They have much to answer for. I owe you my life, and will gladly dedicate it to this cause.
Whoa, really? I was just doing that to be a good We'll start your training tomorrow.
From there, you send them on contracts to make them more powerful, and give a couple hours, and boom! You have yourself a mini army of always reliable assassins. This is actually a subject of disdain from some critics. They say that it makes the game too easy, always having assassins able to perform what should have been your job at the press of a simple button. And this can be the case, but first, no matter what, you need to get close enough to lock on anyway. That alone can be quite challenging. Second, there are numerous missions in which you have no access to the assassins at all. Third, I'll admit I hate it when people say, just don't use that incredibly game-breaking mechanic. I really do. But hey, just get the 2 assassins you're required to have, and constantly send them out on contracts, making them completely unavailable. Now you have no choice but to do everything yourself, so problem solved. For me, I mostly use these guys as distractions, or allies in a sword fight. I never really use them in the main assassination missions. I just enjoy tossing my little minions at innocent groups of soldiers whenever I could. And it's so fun. Then there's multiplayer. Now, I'm not really going to go into that here. I'll probably make a good third of the Revelations review about it, but since it was introduced here, I'll leave it at this. It's really refreshing compared to the 8 billion online shooters in today's market. It's really fun, and it's pretty much what made me want to start this series. And yeah, I actually don't have many issues with this game. Travel time may be slightly annoying occasionally, but now you can ride horses inside the crowded streets of Rome, which speeds things up, and there's also a nifty tunneling system to warp you around. I'm not a big fan of the final boss, but at least it's over 3 times faster than Assassin's Creed 2's final boss. Occasionally I feel a bit overpowered, but I can easily shrug this feeling off, and it rarely comes up anyway. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is my favorite Assassin's Creed game so far, and it's a bit soon, but it might just be one of my favorite games of all time. I'll probably check back a couple months after beating Assassin's Creed 3, but the bottom line is that I think this game has more than enough innovations to warrant a purchase. Combat's finally good enough, you're ahead of all the Assassins. They introduced a bitching multiplayer experience, you can replay missions, all of which have challenges to beat in order to achieve perfect sync, and this is the first time in the series that I feel really compelled to 100% the game. And in doing all this, it maintains the awesome free-roaming gameplay by giving you an entire city filled to the brim with side quests to do. And I can't express how fun the assassinating gameplay is. And not only did it take me 17 hours to hit the ending, but I'm still having a blast tying loose ends up. I'm aware that many people believe that the series began going down here. Hell, I know a couple people who think that. But you know what? I maintain my stance. This is one of the best games I've ever played. And I'm absolutely willing to award it my second ever 10 out of 10.
So yeah, my second 10 out of 10. But don't worry, while I don't plan on being the reviewer to avoid giving 10s, I'm also not going to be the reviewer that awards perfect 10s every other review. So don't worry, I don't think my next 10 out of 10 review will be coming quite a while. I've scheduled to make sure that... Wow, I could have planned this better.